Have you ever wondered why, despite all of your opportunities, all of your freedoms, all of the abundance of modern life, you still feel trapped? Not trapped by bars or chains, but by something quieter, something softer, something almost invisible? I'm going to ask you something that may sting. Has your life become so comfortable that it no longer feels alive? We rarely admit it, but comfort is seductive. It whispers to us like a lullaby. Stay here. Don't risk. Don't strive. Don't struggle. You're safe. And yet, if you've ever lain awake at night with that gnawing sense that something essential in you has gone missing, then you already know the truth. Comfort does not free us. Comfort slowly suffocates us. Nietzsche warned of this over a century ago. He called it the danger of the last man. The last man is not a tyrant, not a villain, not even a fool. He is the ordinary person who has traded meaning for safety, passion for convenience, greatness for mediocrity. He is content to be comfortable, and in that contentment, he becomes enslaved to his own weakness. But let's take a step back. The hidden prison of comfort. Think about your daily life. You wake up in a climate-controlled room. You reach for your phone, immediately rewarded with stimulation, entertainment, and connection without effort. Food arrives at your door. Work is increasingly done behind screens with minimal physical strain. And when unease creeps in, when boredom stirs, you numb it with streaming, scrolling, or consuming. On the surface, nothing is wrong. You are not in danger. You are not starving. You are not oppressed. By all historical standards, you are free. But tell me honestly, why then does so much of modern life feel like a cage? Because comfort is not neutral. Comfort shapes us. And the shape it molds is smaller, weaker, less daring than the one you were born to be. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And how do we waste it? Not always in chaos or destruction, but in small doses of pleasure, convenience, and safety that slowly dull our edge. The psychology of numbness. Modern psychology supports what Nietzsche, Seneca, and others sensed intuitively. When our lives lack struggle, when every discomfort is eliminated, the human spirit begins to atrophy. We lose resilience, anxiety rises, depression spreads. Why? Because the human brain evolved for challenge. Struggle, paradoxically, is what creates growth, meaning, and vitality. Comfort feels good in the short term, but over time it leaves us restless and empty, like muscles that never get used. The psychologist Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, noticed this terrifying truth. People who had no purpose, no struggle worth enduring, collapsed into despair even faster than those facing brutality. He wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Comfort erases the why. It makes life frictionless, but in removing friction, it removes the spark. The historical warning history offers us brutal reminders of what happens to civilizations when comfort becomes the highest goal. Rome, once a republic of warriors, thinkers, and builders, fell into decadence. Citizens abandoned civic duty for bread and circuses. Luxury replaced discipline. Courage was outsourced to mercenaries. And slowly, silently, the empire rotted from within. Machiavelli, writing centuries later, noted that fortune favors the bold and ruthless, not the complacent. Nations that value safety above strength inevitably decline. Do you see the parallel? In many ways, we are Rome again, so surrounded by abundance, so cushioned by convenience, that we mistake weakness for peace, stagnation for security. Nietzsche's dark prophecy. Nietzsche foresaw this. He spoke of a coming era when humanity, tired of striving, would shrink back into mediocrity. He described the last men blinking and smiling, satisfied with comfort, allergic to risk. They would say, "We have invented happiness," all while extinguishing the very fire that makes us human. What makes this terrifying is that the last man does not realize he has lost freedom. He thinks he is free because he can choose between entertainment options, between gadgets, between small indulgences. But this is not freedom. This is sedation. Ask yourself, are you free or are you sedated? The personal struggle. Let me share a story. A man once worked a safe job in a quiet office. He had good pay, predictable hours, and every comfort he could ask for. But every day, his soul withered. He felt unseen, unused, unnecessary. One day, he quit. Everyone called him foolish. Why leave safety? Why leave comfort? But in the struggle that followed, in the chaos, the uncertainty, the hunger, he felt alive again. It wasn't the absence of comfort that terrified him. It was realizing how much of his life he had already wasted inside it. We all have some version of this story waiting for us. The only question is, will you wake up before it's too late? The uncomfortable truth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will not. Most people will gladly sink into comfort, telling themselves it is freedom, even as they waste their one brief life. This is why Nietzsche's warning matters now more than ever, because the danger is not tyrants or monsters. The danger is the slow, silent suffocation of our potential by comfort. And the question you must face is brutal. Are you already living as the last man? The way out. If comfort is the prison, then struggle is the key. Not meaningless struggle, not endless suffering, but chosen struggle, purposeful struggle. Start with the small choices. Take the path of difficulty, not ease. Confront discomfort instead of escaping it. Seek challenges that awaken you rather than pleasures that sedate you. Plato once wrote that the unexamined life is not worth living. I would add, the overcomfortable life is not truly lived at all. The final challenge. So here is my challenge to you. Tonight, when you lie in bed, ask yourself, am I alive or am I merely comfortable? Do not be afraid of discomfort. Be afraid of never truly living. Because Nietzsche's prophecy was not a prediction, it was a warning. The future belongs to those who resist the lullaby of comfort, who dare to struggle, who dare to become more. And if you don't, if you choose safety, convenience, and sedation, then you may wake one day and realize that you have lived as a prisoner in a cell so soft you never noticed the bars.